Welcome, guys, to another pod. We have me, Varro. Also, we have Carter, but today we have a special guest. Been following him for a while, so it's an honor to have Trevin on the podcast. You give yourself a little quick introduction.
I appreciate you guys. For those that don't know me, I've been in the online space for the last 8 years. Started doing FBA, private label. Then it led to me filming YouTube videos. Then it led to me having some coaching programs, to then just kind of evolving over time to where now we're doing, we still do private label. Now we do the Amazon Influencer Program, and we also do TikTok Shop affiliates. And then we also do some software stuff as well to help facilitate all of those different models.
And it's cool because like everything you're doing and everything like you're kind of transitioning to is all within like the same ecosystem, in my opinion, you know? So like private label, then you started doing Amazon Influencer Program, which like I would say it's a branch of that. Then TikTok Shop, obviously a branch of that. And I feel like when I was first researching Amazon FBA, you were like probably one of the first people I would see on the page. But obviously, like I wasn't like
your SEO game.
Yeah,
I wasn't starting as private label. I was like, okay, that eventually I'll start as private label. So it's cool, you know. After a couple years, it's like a full circle moment.
absolutely. That's
It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. So I want to just talk about more on like how do you even get started with Amazon private label?
Dude, that's a good question. So I got married when I was super young, and we moved into these condos. We were paying $700 a month in these little tiny condos. And it was one early morning. I was going to school, so I went to college. It didn't last very long, but in order for me to pass my fitness class, I had to go run a 5K to get extra credit. And so one Saturday morning, I woke up and it was like 6:30 in the morning, and I come out and I had a little white Toyota Tacoma. It was like a 2005. It was a nice truck. And my neighbor had the same exact car, and we ran into each other at 6:30 in the morning. I'm like, hey, like what? You have my same car, this? And then we kind of hit it off, and we were talking, and he told me that he sold things online, and he sold ties, like neckties. And I'm like, wait, you can sell stuff online? And this was 2016. And I was like, wait, like what? And so that's when I kind of got into the idea of like, I want to start my own business. I want to sell products online. So I started with Shopify, and I kind of did a blend of drop shipping plus like my own products. And I did that for like 6 months, and it just went nowhere. And what's crazy is that was like at the best time to do Shopify.
2016.
It was crying, and I just couldn't figure it out. And I guess I just wasn't very smart. And so I was kind of going about that. And then I had another buddy who I don't even know how the conversation got brought up, but he was like, dude, I'm doing this Amazon stuff, and Amazon is doing my fulfillment. And like, I just launch a product and customers just buy. And this was 2017, at like the best time to launch on Amazon. And so I'm like, okay, let's do it. And like, as soon as I heard that, that's when things clicked for me. I was like, okay, Shopify dropshipping, I was struggling getting the traffic. I was struggling with 10 to 14, 16-day delivery. It was even longer back then. Like now you can get it a little bit quicker, but customers just didn't trust like the dropshipping model that much. I mean, obviously there was ways around it, but it clicked as soon as I heard about FBA. I had no idea you could even sell products on Amazon. Like I was clueless. And so that night
still don't.
And it's crazy. Like it's 2025, and people
I'd say 90% of people think everything just comes
from Amazon. Yeah.
Like, and technically it does. So it is very confusing. Yeah. Like if you don't really look into it, and like, who do they to care?
Exactly.
Why do they care? It's like, it comes from Amazon. It's Amazon.
Yeah. So I just jumped into it, and our first product that we launched, it was a seatbelt gap filler. Have you guys seen those on Shark Tank?
Yeah.
The thing that you put between the center console and your driver's seat to make sure that the keys don't fall down in the black hole.
Good for content.
And so we launched it. We sold like 100 units in the first 2 days.
Oh my God.
And then we got a cease and desist, and it was like, hey, you're infringing on our patent. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. And so we stopped selling it. But I was like, okay, this works. Like we did no like research. We just threw up a product and it just sold. And then from there, I just kind of dove head first because I was like, dude, this is going to work. And then I just kept going and just figured things out. And then before I knew it, I was able to quit my job, and just go full time. And then that led to everything else.
Dude, that's amazing. I kind of want to step back just a little bit. Like, were you, since a kid, were you always like more of like the entrepreneur style? Because a lot of people will start a business, doesn't go well, and they just like, if it doesn't go well for that business, they don't want to try another one. They're like, okay, all of this is just a scam. People get lucky, just continue working their job. So how did you have that mindset to like, okay, dropshipping doesn't work, let me try this out though?
Yeah, dude, that's a really good question because I was always an entrepreneur at heart. Growing up, I had several businesses, like mini businesses. I did a poop cleaning business. I had a lawn mowing business. I had a garbage can cleaning business. And I would just go door to door and hand out flyers. And then I'd get home and Venmo wasn't a thing. PayPal wasn't a thing. I'd get cash and I'd iron my money, make it nice and crispy. And I was always just so proud of it. And I was like, hey, this is sweet. And then I in high school, like whenever I wanted something, I would just go find a way to, like, I wanted the newest iPhone and my parents weren't going to buy it for me. And I was like, well, I want it. And so I just went and found a creative way to buy it. So I got this, I worked at a car wash. I started washing cars and took that money, bought an iPhone. And then fast forward, after when I was in college, I was looking to get engaged. And in order for me to buy my wedding ring, I started flipping products. Like I would just sell stuff on like Facebook Marketplace. And so I always had like this hustle mentality and I always wanted to own a business. I just had never really known like what path or direction I wanted to go in.
What was possible, I feel like, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't know what's possible. They hear things and they're just like, okay, it's probably a scam. You know, just because people might be trying to sell them on something, but if you never try it, like you will never find out that's possible, in my opinion.
The only people talking about the opportunities are the people trying to sell you on something too. You know, it's like there's a very small subset of people that are talking about an opportunity without trying to sell something, so they're not holding anything back about it. And it makes sense, right? It's like it makes sense to sell the opportunity a little bit because, you know, these are good opportunities, like TikTok, whatever it is. Like these are amazing opportunities that people are spending $50,000 a year to go to, like, not even a year necessarily, but to go to college, you know, and then they come on, they don't even have a job. So it's like to spend like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 on something to make a few thousand a month. It's like, there's a reason why people go for it.
Yeah.
And even with like 10% success rate, whatever it is. And then the success rate of people that actually try in a lot of these programs is pretty high. You know, it's like, it's probably like 20% of people try, 10% of people succeed. So it's like 50% of people start making an income from these classes and services. So it's a gold rush.
Yeah, I mean with TikTok Shop and like TikTok Shop both selling affiliates and Amazon Influencer, from what I've seen, again, I started Shopify dropshipping at like the best time. I started Amazon FBA at the best time. I'm looking at this opportunity and it is better than what that was at that time.
You're good on the timing thing.
Like
I'm not really good on his timing.
And to my point on that is there's so many people, what you exactly said, they think everything is a scam.
Mm-hmm.
When I hear about an opportunity, I go all in 100% and I'm going to prove whether it's legit or not. And so many people wait and they want to see proof or they want to see somebody else do it. And then they're like, oh, wait, it's actually real.
Yeah.
Like I have so many people, like I started the Amazon Influencer program. It's been like 2.5 years. So again, at like the best time. And when I started doing it, everyone was like, wait, like that's actually a thing. And I'm like, yeah, dude, like let's do it. And they're like, oh, well, I'm gonna wait. And then 6 months go by and they're like, wait, you're still doing that? Like you're making money? I'm like, yeah. And then 12, like I told them, and then 12 months later, they're like, oh, I'm actually gonna do it. I'm like, you guys,
It's like Bitcoin.
it's still, there's still an opportunity, but like the best opportunity was when I first told you about it. But so many people do have that like engraved in their mind of like, oh, anything make money online is an absolute scam and it's too good to be true. And it's like, I mean, what's the worst case scenario if you go try to do TikTok Shop affiliate?
Why do you think that mentality like is the case?
Dude, it's because that's the way the system wires us. The system raises us to believe that like you have to do this, and this. And if you don't, then you're not normal and you're weird. Just my personal belief in that. I just think how everything's set up is for us to have the golden handcuffs and not
Get a job.
steroids.
I mean, that's what school's for. I think it was originally set up to be that, like to help people get into the workforce and stuff like that. So it's not engineered in a way to make people reliant on themselves, but rather the system and society in general.
Now they're doing it. They're pushing it on the women. They're making it again
Increase your workforce.
Yeah, exactly.
Drive down labor costs as well. So like, if you think about it, if you had half the amount of people in the labor force, you'd still need the same amount of jobs. So the income would be double. So you'd have single income households, but now you have two working households. So it's like half the income, same amount of money.
Yep. And it's unfortunate because we need more moms to be moms. To be moms, and we need more dads to step up and be dads. Period. Like it goes both sides, and it's crazy. Like over the last even just 10 years, how things have shifted so much. It's really interesting to just see what is being pushed, and then every time that there's something that's out of the norm, scam, it doesn't work, too good to be true.
Yeah, I just think like people see things and like, okay, because being realistic, some of these things do sound too good to be true, right? Like you have that
They're selling them.
exactly, and that too, I guess. But like still, like let's just say if you pay $100, $200, $1,000 for something that could make you that in a month, yeah, right? Compared to college, I mean, like it's a no-brainer. But just because you're comparing to college, you're like, okay, this has to be a scam because how can I make a video and get paid for it, right? And do it. It's true what Carter said. You're always perfect with timing. It's actually insane. And obviously, some people might call it luck, but it's just like I think you see an opportunity when it's early and you're like, okay, let me see if this works, like you mentioned. And honestly, I feel like you're a person that people could look at and be like, okay, if he's doing it, that means it's probably not a scam. That means it works.
Yeah.
And there's a potential, that chance that it could work for me.
For sure.
Because like, you've been in the space, income space for so long. And that's what I want to touch on more, like what made you want to start posting videos, right? If you're doing so well private label, why don't you just build that up, focus on that, maybe exit the business and just,
It's a fantastic question. And to revert back to that first, finding like the points of like the waves, the gold rushes. If you go, and everyone should do this that's watching this, go to ChatGPT and ask them what your strengths are. And it'll be very interesting. And ChatGPT said that I'm good at finding the trends, which is actually interesting. And I was like, I've actually never thought about that, but like, it was actually kind of cool. And it will toot your own horn a little bit, and it will give you a good compliment.
Yeah.
But it's good. Like and then after you ask what your strengths are, ask what your weaknesses are. And my weakness was basically the opposite, is I do too much and I have too many things going on at once. And it's crazy because I mean, I use ChatGPT and the AI, I would say at least 3-5 times a day, constantly in everything that I do. And so like AI almost knows me better than like my wife does, which is kind of sad. But to answer your question of why I jumped into the TikTok shop opportunity, it was, I was doing private label and then I started selling my products on TikTok. So I actually was selling before I started doing affiliates.
Okay.
And so I literally took my Amazon private label brands, copied and pasted it over, and literally with no extra effort, like I was making an extra $8,000 profit per month. And I'm like, what is this? Like it took me, and I have a YouTube video where I compared like my first month on Amazon, my first 6 months on Amazon compared to like my first month and 6 months on TikTok. It's ridiculous. And so I was like, okay, dude, there's something here. And these people are making an absurd amount of money. And then I started seeing people, and I literally thought, I was like, okay, how is this person making $50,000 a month being an affiliate? No inventory, no overhead, no ads, no nothing, making stupid videos. And I literally didn't believe it. So what did I do? Instead of say it was a scam, I want to go do it myself.
Yeah.
And so again, there was people that were talking about it, and I was like, okay, is this real or not? And again, for the average person, they would have been like, oh yeah, it's too good, I'm moving on. But for me, that's what actually made me want to pursue it. And then before I knew it, it was like, dude, this actually works. And then funny story, I started showing and I wasn't doing anything crazy my first couple months. I actually documented it on YouTube. I was doing like $3,000 to $6,000 a month, but like very, like a couple minutes a day, which again, that's insane money. And people are like, oh, that's too good to be true again, whatever. So I was doing that. And then I showed my sister, I was like, dude, you need to do this. and they ended up making more money than me like pretty quick because they went even harder.
Yeah.
And then I think they made like 12, 15 grand in a month. And I'm like, wait, you guys just did 12, 15 grand and you guys just started this. And I told them, I was like, you guys can't beat me. I want to put my head down, get to work. And the next month I did $39,000 and my shit just doubled down. And again, it was just a limiting belief. And it was also, my focus wasn't affiliates. It was my brands and it was my other stuff. But then once my sister started doing 5 figures a month, I was like, okay, come on. If she could do it, I could do it. So it's just one of those things where it's just funny how it works. You've said it a ton. It's mindset. That's what it is. Like, and that's what it has been through my entire journey, is just like, oh wait, like I can do this. This is real.
Yeah, because someone could have been following you ever since you posted your first YouTube video of private label until now, and maybe haven't done nothing just because of the mindset and like the limiting belief they have in themselves. And sometimes we forget, you know, like me and Carter talk a lot, and dude, a lot of people just need an extra 1,000. Like an extra 1,000 is pretty much life changing every single month for them. And like, let's just say if you're trying to do that with Amazon FBA, it's a little tougher because cash flow, you got to buy inventory. Like with this, you're legit recording videos. Like it's very doable with AIP. It's very doable with TikTok Shop, you know? And like we say these crazy numbers, but dude, an extra 1,000 could be life changing for a lot of people.
And I will say, so many people, and we have a lot of people that we've helped, feel almost embarrassed about making $1,000 a month because they see people that make 50, 60, $100,000. And it's like, dude, that's incredible. Like an extra $1,000, like that is a massive success. I literally, at the conference, this guy came up to me and he's like, hey, I got into the Amazon Influence program because of you, and I did it last year. I was like, oh, sweet. How are things going? He's like, well, I did it for 1 month and now I make about like $200 a month. And I'm like, dude, that's sick. And he's like, it's all right. I'm like, literally, you worked not even a couple weeks and now you're making $200 a month, not lifting a finger. And he was like, kind of like upset about it. I'm like, how are you complaining about that? Like, most people buy a rental property. Like I have rental properties as well. I will put $20, $30, $50,000 down. And if I can cash flow 300 a month,
Amazing.
I'm pumped. Yet you can start with no money with the phone, spend 3 weeks. And when I say 3 weeks, that's like 3 weeks of like an hour a day.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not very much, like 20 hours of work, and you can make as much as what a cash flowing rental property can make.
It's insane. Like the dividends that, like, let's just say, especially AIP, in my opinion, like I feel like that's the one where, let's just say you could go hard for a month, go hard for 2 months, and like you're gonna see residuals for the next 6 months, maybe even the next year, which is insane. And the creators connection is the things that we never really tapped into, just because I only did AIP for a short amount of time. But even with that, I mean, just thinking about it now, you could make the same amount of sales but make double, triple the money just because of the increased commissions. Pretty insane.
It's, yeah, creator connections, for those that don't know what that is instead of getting like 2 to 4%, you can accept these campaigns and make 10, 20, 30, 50%. So it gets to be similar to TikTok affiliates, but you don't have that virality potential. Like, you're not going to have a viral video that gets 5 million views on Amazon Influencer. But if you can find the right product and do proper research, like, there is a lot more opportunity now with Amazon Influencer, just because of creator connections, where before it was like, you're not going to go and do like these absurd numbers, and you're not going to go and make 6 figures a month like you can with TikTok affiliates. Like, that's just facts.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean that it's not the I think so. Amazon Influencer is easier than TikTok affiliates. Like, I tell people, I'm like, I could take any person off the street. I don't care what your background is. I don't care who you are, how old you are. I could get you to make an Amazon Influencer video. And if you just upload X amount of videos, you will make money. TikTok affiliates, if you took some random person off the street and you made 50 videos and they didn't really have any background, they didn't understand it, they might not. But even then, even 50 videos, they probably would make at least $1.
Yeah, they'll probably make a sale. But I mean, with Amazon, it's just so great because like the people are on the marketplace, right? And like we all buy. I mean, I could speak for myself. I buy almost every single day, and I look at the reviews. Yeah. Like, I actually look at the reviews because I want to make sure I'm getting a decent product, right? So the people are there. People are buying. Compared to the TikTok, obviously, you kind of have to drive people with your video.
For sure. So yeah, the Amazon Influence Program is fantastic. And again, for those that don't know what we're even talking about, TikTok affiliates and Amazon influencer, it's basically the same concept. You film a simple video talking about a product. As long as it's sold on TikTok, you can make a video about it and upload it to TikTok. And then you film a video as long as it's sold on Amazon. You make a video, and if somebody watches that product, buys it, you make a commission. So it's like affiliate marketing, but you're not bringing external traffic. And we kind of reiterated this a lot yesterday. Is like that's what's the beautiful part is we're not trying to divert traffic. I mean, have a pretty good following, and it's so hard to pull people from one platform to another. And that's what makes Amazon Influencer magical, because they're already there. That's what makes TikTok Shop magical, is because they're already there. You're not trying to take them away.
Yeah.
And it's like Facebook ads. I mean, you're trying to take them from Facebook to your website. Like that's hard. But if it's all integrated in one, they literally just click the button and boom, it's done.
Yeah,
because I don't think about it.
Because affiliate marketing has been a thing where I remember people like maybe copying like their Amazon link, putting it on Etsy, I think, or something like that. Maybe I'm wrong. Putting it on some type of platform. And some people were doing decent numbers.
Pinterest.
Pinterest, I think that's a place where like people would have like thousands of posts, which is pretty interesting. But let's just say when you first found out about Amazon, like private label, you're crushing it. Why not just keep it to yourself, keep it within your family? All you guys crush it. No one has to know. Why would you start making YouTube videos about it?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And to be honest, I started at a time where most of the people on YouTube were legitimate fake gurus. Like, and there's still plenty of them out there. But I was watching these videos and I'm like, okay, this guy doesn't even sell, because that's not how you do it. And you're teaching this, and that's not how it's done, because I was actually selling.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I want to do it, and I want to come out and actually just be transparent. And so I would show my sales, and I would show like actually like what's going on behind the scenes. And so that was kind of the first thing that sparked it. And then the second thing, as silly as this sounds, is I hated being on camera. I was so self-conscious about it. When I would film myself and hear my voice, I was like, dude, I hate my voice. I hate hearing myself. I hate how I look on camera. And it was just this uncomfortable feeling that I was like, you know what? Screw it. That's the reason that I'm going to do it. And so it was those two elements of like, I was scared. I wasn't good at it. I wasn't confident. And then I saw like the hole in the market. I just saw that I'm like, okay, these guys are making a ridiculous amount of money and they have no knowledge and experience doing the actual thing that they're talking about. So if I could do the same thing and be an actual seller, like I think I could make some waves. Now, I got humbled really quick because I did not make very much money my first year and a half doing that. I thought like, oh, I'll just make a bunch of YouTube videos and all of a sudden I'll have all these subscribers and I'll be making a bunch of money. That was not the case. I uploaded a straight year and a half before I made my first dollar. And I now have over 1,000 YouTube videos, and I'm hoping in the next like 2 months I'll hit 100K subs. And there's people that upload 10 videos and have 1 million subscribers. There's people that upload a couple hundred and they have 100,000 subs. Dude, I've been grinding at it and just being consistent, and that's been kind of like it's been almost like it's like I'm so passionate and it's just so fun, and it's so challenging that I just kept with it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was gonna say like, well, why keep going? You know, like after a year and a half and like not even making a single dollar from it, in my opinion, I was like, okay, I have all these other revenues where I'm making good money. Why should I put so much focus in it? But I think it's what you said. You know, I feel like you really do have a love for the game and you like helping people. You know, it's like some people really like helping people. Like we talked about it yesterday. We get more fulfillment from helping people than like us making the money. I really think about it.
Now, if looking back, if I knew what I know now and the skill set that I have, if I would have gone 100% in on my brands, I probably would be worth more, if I'm being realistic. But I was 20 years old. I didn't have the business experience. I didn't understand the big picture. I didn't understand the scalability of e-commerce and building things. And I didn't understand the opportunity that I had. so now that I understand the opportunity that I have, I'm trying to capitalize on TikTok because it's right now.
Yeah.
Where before I didn't understand the opportunity. And I think that's the biggest thing is like, I still have shiny object syndrome. I still want to go and do different things, but like the thing with where I'm at now that I have almost 10 years in the game, which is kind of crazy. Like I can look back on my past experiences and be like, you know what? Maybe I should have just gone all in on my brands and things could have been better and I probably would have made more because I was spending some time. And also I didn't have the mindset to think big because when I was selling, I was like, dude, I'm making 5-8 grand a month. I'm 20 years old. This is fantastic. And I literally was working like 4 hours a week on my FBA business. So I'm like, so what else am I going to do with my time? Well, let's film YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But if I would have just taken that time and launched more products, that probably would have been a better ROI. But here we are.
Do you regret it?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Yesterday I told somebody one of my biggest skill sets that I have that no one can ever take away from me is the ability to create content. And like I can go create content anywhere, and like once you have that skill set, like you will never worry about money.
Yeah.
And so I just built up these different skill sets that now, like wherever I go, I can take them with me and I can take advantage of them. And like I think, yeah, I can't regret it. I have such an amazing life that it's like, how could I regret? Yeah, how could I regret having what I have? Like, no, not at all.
Yeah. I
But
think
that's an interesting question. Nobody's asked me that.
yeah, it's like things could have been better, but they could have been worse as well. It's what people don't really understand sometimes. Like, oh damn, I could have done this. I was like, dude, it could have been a lot where you could have been in the worst place right now.
Yeah.
From it, you know, people never think about like the worst case scenarios. And also, I want to touch on you said like you didn't have like the mindset. I think you've been through so many gold rushes in the past like decade of being in ecom. You never know you're in the gold rush until like afterwards, right? But I feel like you've had so much experience where now like you see something, okay, this has the potential to be a gold rush, or you know it's a gold rush, yet, right? And that's a skill set in itself. Like not many people have that, and that's why people see things and be like, okay, it's a scam, like it's not gonna work, you know?
And it's just lack of experience. They've never gone through it themselves, and so they don't understand. I mean, there's been so many things that I'm like, oh man, I don't know. And then you realize, and the longer that you're in the game, the quicker you realize who's the real ones, who actually does it, what is actually a legit opportunity versus not. Like you can kind of see through the BS a little bit. And so yeah, that's definitely a skill set that the only way to develop it is with time.
By doing it.
Yeah.
By doing it. It's funny because I feel like we've been through some gold rushes, I would say. Probably obviously we weren't in the right mindset just because we were so young, you know. We were happy the same way we were happy with even like $1,000 a month. I mean,
Exactly.
it's insane, you know, like as like an 18-year-old, like dude, like that's amazing. It's better than a job at the end of the day. Like let's just say you're just hanging out with your friends making $1,000 a month. It sounds great, but obviously could have went harder. But I agree. Having regrets is not good just because your life's not bad how it is right now.
Yeah, for sure. One thing that we can kind of end on, this was before I got married. I went to my now father-in-law to ask to get his approval to propose to my now wife. And I was talking to him and he's like, I was young. I got married when I was young. I was like 20 years old. And he's like, so like, what's your plans? Like, what are your goals? And I was like, well, I just want to make at least $5,000 a month. And that's kind of my goal. And once I'm there, like, I think things will be good. I told him $5,000 a month. And he told me, he kind of chuckled and he's like, I think you'll want to shoot for more than that. Plus his response.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, this is great. And that's the thing is that's where my mindset was at. Like, once you get into the game and once you see the bigger picture and once you surround yourself with other people and once you see the potential of what you can actually make, like that's where those limiting beliefs are broken. And again, I was raised thinking like, hey, go get a job 9 to 5. And I was like, dude, 60 grand a year? That's insane. Like I've never made more than $20,000 in my entire life. And so I'm thinking 60 grand is insane. And my father-in-law, obviously, he was 50 and he had seen a little bit more than I had. And he's like, I don't know if you're gonna be able to have a family and raise kids off of 60 grand. Like you can, like, yes, you can. Like people do it. But are you gonna be comfortable? Yeah, but you're gonna be very, very tight, and you're not gonna be going on vacations. You're not gonna be driving nice cars. You're not gonna have a nice house. You're gonna be sweating what you're choosing to eat for dinner and for breakfast. And so it's very fun for me to look back on how far things have come where I'm like, okay, now let's make 60 grand a month.
It's beautiful, you know. I feel like W father-in-law, you know, that great father-in-law. But I think it's beautiful looking back. You're like, oh my god, why was I thinking like that? Right? Like it's insane. All right, you could drop where everybody can follow you and all your socials.
Yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Trevin Peterson on all socials, and yeah, check it out.
We'll look them all down below.
It'll be linked all down below. Go make some videos. Go print some money. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll catch you guys on the next one.